What are we going to do tonight, Brian?
We're going to do the same thing we do every Wednesday, which is podcast, probably.
It's time. It's time for On the Perf podcast. Adam and Adam here with you. It is Wednesday, my dudes, and we're going to talk some shooting stuff for a little while here. How you doing, buddy?
Dude, I am doing good because I just crossed the threshold, literally, of a life goal. The odometer in my truck today, I stopped and took a photo of it, read 123,456.7.
You did it.
Can't tell.
You did.
I can't tell you.
We have
How
arrived.
good I feel about seeing it happen. Also, I should point out that I have concluded definitively that your odometer does run when you're backing up, because I pulled into a parking lot at 1.123,456.5, and I had to get 0.2 of a mile. So I drove forward and backwards in an abandoned parking lot about 3 times. And it did roll over once while I was backing up. So it is confirmed. The trick from Ferris Bueller's Day Off no longer works. In fact, it works against you. So you can't throw that sucker in reverse. It's a bummer.
Well, hey, like I just turned 100,000 miles in my Power Stroke. So now, like, the question is,
just getting warmed up.
do I get to delete the def now? That's the real question.
So, yeah, can you do that in your state? Because you can't do a def delete in our state.
I'm not sure. But I don't know. I got a feeling like the price of admission would get me to say, you know what? Maybe no.
In the Sprinter van that we had, def was a nightmare, and we looked into def delete, and it was like $3,000. And if we could have done it in our state, I would have done it in a heartbeat, because def was the worst part about that vehicle by far.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's time to talk shooting stuff. And yeah, like I say, I mean, we're both of us, I think, are pretty low key shooting wise at home right now. Bryzer's been doing mountain man things up in the Urantals.
Yep.
From what I understand.
I did get to the range the last 2 days though. I had a little pistol sesh yesterday, and I did a private class right before this podcast. So
I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't too bad.
I don't know what it is about Tuesday nights in southern Wisconsin, but man, on league night every year, a couple times we have gnarly thunderstorms roll through. Thunderstorms. And that was that was last night. And it's kind of like, it's nice all day, and we're like, and it's kind of raining off and on. And they had decided already to kind of call the match off. So we were I was just gonna go up there and practice if nothing else. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll quote unquote have a work day for those of us that show up, but it's raining and everything, so there weren't no work going on. Yeah, and when the rain did clear off, they still didn't do any work. But I'm just amazed, like, man, if the skies turn gloomy on a summer Tuesday night in Lodi, Wisconsin, like,
Get ready.
Seek shelter. That shit is gnarly. Like,
yeah.
Like, Helen Hunt's coming out of the woodwork, and there's going to be a twister, all right? So, but I did get a little PCSL rifle practice in yesterday, and yeah, just kind of laying low. I'm actually, like, getting back into match director mode because our end-of-the-year pistol match is coming up, which, if you're at all in the upper Midwest, we have about a $3,000 cash purse up for grabs, and, like, not being ugly, but it's up for grabs. So maybe, like, check your calendars, September 27th. You ain't got nothing going on. Might be worth your while.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so we got match director stuff spinning up over here, and but I'm like the cowboy, or I'm like Raptor Man, all right? Like, I need to get back into the shit.
Haven't heard shots fired in anger in weeks.
I have it. I need to get back. But
dude, what a good movie.
As always,
They don't make movies like that anymore. I'm gonna have to add that to our like old school
real talk.
movie and TV show stuff. Like Stanley Kubrick put out some bangers.
I've seen some trailers for some movies that I definitely want to watch recently, but
The one with Brad Pitt and the dog looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for the World War II history stuff. So like I've seen a few of those come out lately that I need to watch, but I don't just like sit down and watch movies very often, and B, I don't have those subscription services. So it's like,
yeah.
And I've already forgotten what the titles were. So even later, I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to go back and find them. But
yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know the deal. Before we get into it, we are, of course, brought to you by Atlas Gunworks. On the perf in one word, gets 10% off of a single cart over at perfectzero.co, which is the home for all things Atlas. Here's the deal. If you guys have ever disassembled a 1911 platform pistol without a tool-free guide rod, you know how freaking annoying that is. It's a terrible design. Nobody should have to go through that. So if you have one, you can go over to Perfect Zero and get yourself one. And I'm telling you, it is worth every penny. It's so nice. You just slide it out, push the button, holds everything together. Be a little careful when you set it down, because you can set it down hard and unattach that thing.
Make your own jokes.
And it's violent. But man, just if you're still doing the whole, paper clip through the whole thing, just no, don't do that no more.
Yeah. 0 performance gain, but like quality of life +5.
Yes. Mini quality of life points.
Because I have at least one Atlas pistol with an old school.
Yeah, I'm sure you have several old guide rods given your 1911 collection.
I know my Athena has an old school one. I have the disassembly paper clip just for it. I don't know if my OG, I can't remember at the moment if my OG one has one or not. I might have got the upgrade in that one. But yeah, it's the right way to do that for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
We are also brought to you by Briley Manufacturing, OTP 10.
Briley Mining Company.
I was just watching what's the gold miners show on Discovery Channel? Gold Rush or something like that.
I have no idea.
I don't know. It's out of control. But I did have mining on the brain. So we are brought to you by Briley Manufacturing. OTP 10 is the code to save. And we have some updates from last week. I haven't heard from any of the ladies, which I just seem to have that effect on women, so it's nothing new. But Keith...
This is not new.
Keith speaks. Keith has given us an update on
What's
WTF
up,
with his life. First of all, he thought that sweaty water bottles was hilarious as the kryptonite for Donnie. Someone might save that for later. But... injury update for Keith. He tore his meniscus in January and needed to get it fixed before Shotgun World Shoot. So he skipped the first rifle qualifier on purpose because he was on the disabled list. He was hoping for Arizona to happen if it would happen, but he's like, it's on me for not doing 3, but essentially Shotgun World Shoot is his priority this year, so he wanted to make sure he got an injury fixed and rehabbed in time for Shotgun World Shoot, and didn't play rifle games to jeopardize that.
Checks out.
He also thinks that he, Kyle, and Justine could maybe make like a JV team like the WNBA. So I don't know if we get some like Sophie Cunningham stuff going on. Maybe we could.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know anything about the WNBA, but like Sophie Cunningham is the answer, not the problem, I think. Cuz like
I don't even know who you're talking about. So I'm not sure.
You've seen the pointing memes?
Yeah, I've seen them pointing memes.
She's the blonde pointing chick. But she's getting the views, she's getting the eyeballs, which is the point. Nobody cared about WNBA until Sophie Cunningham pointed at some people, and now it's all I see on my splash page at work when I open my computer in the morning. So I could not care less about basketball, but I could tell you everything there is to know about Sophie Cunningham right now.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we got the update from Keith. I have not heard one way or the other from anyone else, which leads me to believe that no further statement has been issued. I don't think what is going to happen is going to surprise anyone, and it is the week of Race Gun Nationals, so I wouldn't hold your breath for anything to happen before this episode comes out.
Yep, indeed.
I did notice, though, that the guys down in Texas put on a IPSC practice match. Did you see that?
I saw something about it, but just kind of very vaguely.
It's like the venue or whatever, the shooting venue or something in Texas, which I think is the new name for the range in Conroe. We've both been there a few times. But it was only a 30-person match, so it definitely seems local. But you definitely got the who's who of a lot of the teams showing up. So we'll just run down some results real quick. We got Ryan Morgan in first place, open. We got Blaine Cowan, second place, right on his heels. We got Mike Whitesides in third. They all wrapped up the 90th percentile. And then you had Sam Larkin, team member, shooting there. He won modified. Andy Dang, second place. Connor Freiberger, also on the team, in there as well. You got Jeff Chaikin. Sam Ryberg found himself a long way from home, and he's a Minnesota boy, so he ended up down in Texas for this practice match, this 30-person practice match. Who else we got there? Of course, our boy Robbie. Robbie's putting in some work. Probably has his trailer handy too.
That's where I saw it. Was on Robbie's Instagram.
Yep. Looks like the Robles were there. Ursula Williams. She's a long way from home. Allison, I'm not sure where Allison. She might be local to Texas, but Allie was there. Taylor Olhausen looks like he had maybe not a great day because he was 40%. So that's maybe not awesome. Guessing equipment malfunctions there. And so a little bit of a banger practice match went on under the radar in Texas, but love to see it. Want to see more of it. And we're really just gearing up right now, kind of looking ahead to fall. I know both of us are really excited about 3-man 3-gun coming up.
Buddy.
Of course, I'm match directing the Dan Pollock match. Oh, the other thing I wanted to put in here, Briley update, is PCSL has announced the belt series for next year. That's not new, but registration for round 1 is open, and it's about 75% sold out right now. So if you are interested in the belt series at all, it's the last weekend in February. I want to say it's 26th to the 28th of February at our favorite Southern Utah shooting facility, the Sups Range. Riser, are you going to shoot some belt? Are you going to come shoot some belt with us?
I'm not sure what my February is looking like yet. It's there's some very late season shenanigans that might preclude me being able to do that, which bums me out. Also, I need to get a belt holster. You got an Alaska
trip coming up or what?
Grand Canyon.
Oh, same but different.
Same but different. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that.
I'm all about the belt series, though. I'm super excited about it from this year. Super excited to shoot it next year. Still trying to figure out. I want to shoot practical because I just think the lower capacity divisions are more interesting. And trying to figure out what gun I'm going to shoot in that. I was trying to make the H9 happen, but I think I got a bunch of mags from my buddy who works for DD, and I was having a bunch of feeding issues with it, but I'm pretty sure that was all soft mag springs. So I got him to send me a bunch of new mag springs, so we're going to test fire that thing. Hopefully that will be the answer, or maybe not. We'll find out. But that is what we have for you for the Briley update for this week. Oh, and one more thing. I'm still playing around with how we're going to guinea pig fantasy. I've decided step 1 if you out there are interested in playing the guinea pig round of fantasy, we are probably going to do it for Gen 3, Memorial, and PCSL Nationals as like a test series. I have verbal confirmation that we will have some stuff to give away, but it is beta testing, so have low expectations. But if you're interested in being part of the beta group of the crowd participation fantasy game, please shoot an email. I am interested to ontheperfpodcast@gmail.com, and I will start the list, and we'll see. I'll try to figure out. I have a couple ideas. I have not decided on exactly how I'm going to do it yet. But if you want to be part of what we're wargaming for the fantasy, shoot me an email saying, hey, I'm interested. I want to play. And we will go from there.
Attaboy.
Which means it's your favorite time, my favorite time, everyone's favorite time. It's time for the Gary of the day. I've had a few, or we've had listener submissions now for quite a few weeks. And I know that Riser is just bursting at the seam with at least one of these bad chickens. So, Riser, what do you got for us for some Gary this week?
I got a list of like 50 of them, but I'm just going to pull off the top here. The Gary of the day is, of course, brought to you by American Defense Manufacturing. And if you submit yourself a Gary to ontheperfpodcast@gmail.com and we use it, you get the 80 amount of your choice. I would highly recommend the super clean dedicated dot mounts. They do like a 1.5 riser mount for Defender dots, or I think they have them for just about every platform, and they are tidy. I am running just like an elevated Picatinny with all the shenanigans bolted with the I am accomplishing the same thing with my setup, and every time I see Maxwell's setup, I'm like, I'm blowing it so hard. Like, this is just not the way. Or you can just go buy one. OTP 15 gets 15% off anything over at ADM. The Gary of the day. This applies to ROs and camera people.
Oh, boy.
If somebody is shooting on a platform and you step on or make contact with that platform in any way, you are for sure the Gary. This has happened to me more times than I would like, and more things move than you think, up to and including the airplane in North Carolina. So if somebody's shooting in the plane and you step on the rear ramp into the plane, the whole plane moves, like more than you would think.
An absurd amount.
So, an absurd amount. Like, I have no idea how that's possible, but I'm telling you.
2 full targets, depending how much air's in the tires.
Exactly, yeah. So if somebody's shooting in the bed of a pickup truck or whatever, like, I know you want to get in and get that good shot and you want to get close as the RO, do not touch the thing they're shooting off of. You will wreck their stage. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Absolutely. Everything moves and everybody poops. That's just how it is.
Exactly.
I saw today just on my feed. Did you see my story today?
No, I didn't.
I saw some random thing like in the For You thing. The caption was, if Vogue filmed rodeo or something, and it was like the best sizzle reel of mounted horseback shooting. What's the rodeo sport where they shoot the balloons with the blank guns?
Oh, yeah, it's like a barrel race, but they shoot. I have no idea what it's called.
I'm sorry, but like I was like the horse chicks found the guns. Like they were all dolled up, and they had like a really long telephoto lens. You could tell from like a long way away, but they had the shot of basically the chicks like looking down the sights at the balloon. It looked like they were shooting like straight at the camera. They're just ready to steal your soul, and then they pushed the trigger, and like the big smoke came out, and is a pretty good 30-second reel of horseback mounted balloon shooting. But
nice.
Yeah, they got the angle like kind of like in our sport, you know, when they get the angle just right and it was magic. Like, how do you capture the essence of a sport? Like, yeah. Like they caught it because like you just had the like lion eyes focus, and then they loosed the juice on those blanks, and and the smoke comes out. It was really cool.
That's sick. All right.
But-
Well, before we get into our topic of the day here, I have a couple notes from Rocky Mountain from some listeners.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
Note number one. Robert hit us back to give me a pronunciation guide because I apparently came like kind of close-ish, better than some, worse than others. But Robert's last name is Vlastelica.
Vlastelica.
Vlastelica. There we go. I'm doing my best. I hope I didn't butcher it with your pronunciation guide. And not from California, from New York.
Yeah, he's at least got a third-degree affiliation to the mob, for sure.
Oh, for sure. He knows a guy. He knows a guy who knows a guy, without a doubt.
Forget about it.
Yeah. So, anyways, So Robert wanted to clarify pronunciation guide for his last name, and that he's from the other super anti-2A state, all the way on the other side of the country. But the wild one, I'm going to leave the name out of this because it involves police. But it's so good. I asked him if I could read it on the show. Okay. I'm just going to read his entire thing to me. It says, the comment around Raton being seedy is spot on. Our squad was going out to dinner, and somewhere between the first and second truck, a car spun out across traffic and slammed into another car in a driveway. My friend who was there saw a bunch of tweakers storm out of the house and yell at the very drunk guy who crashed, and the guy who crashed started reaching for his waistband. So the tweakers held him down, and a lady runs up and beans him in the head with a cinder block. The police show up and take my friends to the police station to give a statement, and 45 minutes later they showed up for dinner. And then he talked about the match a little bit. And then he clarified, I got to respect that Raton woman who kept the self-defense cinder block on standby, though. She's a real one for sure. So, like, the self-defense cinder block is just full on out of nowhere. Drunk dude crashes into a car. Tweakers run out of the house. He tries to pull a gun. Somebody gets beamed in the head of the cinder block, and everybody goes to jail. Like,
and they saw all this unfold whilst casually driving by.
Yeah, this was just on the way to dinner, you guys. So yeah, the move at Raton is definitely camp on the range if you do go there. There's a bunch of van camping, trailer camping, stuff like that. And they also have like little cabins that you can rent. But yeah, when I roll in now, I just like roll to the range. I stay on the range. I leave the range and I drive home. I don't go into town at all.
I haven't carried two guns since I worked in the gun store, but like Val Kilmer said, I got two guns, one for each of you.
Exactly. Yeah, so I feel oddly vindicated on Raton being as sketchy as I remember it. I'm like, I remember it being
that checks out.
Being real sketchy.
That checks out. We also
have what are we talking about?
We have an update from field correspondent Tina Garcia.
Woo!
She said,
I heard the porta potty reviews are blowing up.
She said she had no less than 5 people come up and ask her if she was the porta potty person. And,
yes,
and that they wanted it as a post, not just a story, so it would stick.
Dude, I agree. I hate stories so bad.
So, love hate. I'm kind of glad some of that stuff disappears. Tina Garcia is our unofficial field correspondent, especially on all matters of fecal disposal. So you just
welcome
feel free,
to the team, Tina.
If you want to know who she is, it's the short Latino chick. Okay, just go over and just ask her all of your porta potty questions. She has it locked down.
She can point you towards the right one for
she
sure.
She knows where the good ones are at.
Yep.
But today, we had a request not just too long ago for TSA horror stories. And since we got still a little bit of a lull in the action here, we thought it was maybe a good time to rehash the best of TSA on the perf a dish. So, Riser, with that in mind, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? And then we'll just get this wagon train to moving, and we'll probably like trigger a bunch of stuff and just have to cut it off at some point.
Yeah, pretty much. So, so I've only had, I think, like 3-ish like real wild TSA experiences. One of them wasn't too bad, but definitely the worst that I had was, so I'm going to have to leave a couple things out, or maybe I'll cut a couple things out afterwards for legal reasons. But,
have you told this story before?
I'm not on the air. No,
Not on the air. Okay,
So-
here you go, folks.
all
I
right.
promised last year you'd get this one someday.
Here it comes. Here it comes. So I just started working. No, I didn't start working. I had been working for the suppressor company for a while, the one we allude to all the time. And we were out doing some testing. And then right after that, I got in the car and drove up to Parma to shoot what I think was the last MGM Ironman. And then me and my buddy Eric, hop into the van. We drive back and we get done with the price table. We drive all the way back to Salt Lake, and I get on a flight at like midnight. So just total rush job, but I did it right. The person I was working with at the company was already at this trade show. I think it was in Pennsylvania, and I was flying out to this trade show. So go rolling in. I have my bag that's like pre-packed carry on. That's all I'm bringing. I'm good to go. So I roll up, get my thing, walk into security. It's midnight in Salt Lake in the old airport. There's nobody around. And drop my bag on the scanner. It goes through. I'm on the other side putting my shoes back on. And the guy's like, hey, sir, we need to check your bag. I'm like, all right, cool. And so he starts like digging through it and put my shoe on. And he's like, oh, you can't have this. And I look over and he's holding a can of Coke in his hands. And I'm like, oh, shoot, my bad, dude. I totally forgot that was in there. I'm like, whatever, throw it away. And then he's digging around and he comes out and I hear him go, what the hell is this? And I look up and he's holding a suppressor in his hands. And I just went, oh shit, like out loud. And he goes, sir, what is this? And there was a split second where I was like, dude, just tell him it's a dildo and you're out of here. Because he had no idea what it was. And I was like, there is a chance that I can just say those words and I'm done.
Not like
and I just walk away.
Not like I got you, bitch. Like he's like, what the actual F is this?
Yeah, he doesn't know what it is. And I'm just like,
it smells weird.
There's like a non-zero chance that I can get away with this. But also I'm pretty sure this is illegal. So anyway, I'm running this math in my head really quick. And I'm like, no, that's a bad idea. And I'm like, okay, here's the deal. Like, that's a suppressor for a rifle. I work for the company that makes them. I was out testing a few days ago. That must have slipped into my backpack. I don't remember being there. Everything's legit. It's legal, but I understand I'm not supposed to have it here. And I'm like, look at my watch. My plane's boarding in like 20 minutes. I'm like, do I have any prayer in making my flight? And he just looks at me totally deadpan, and then he leans to his little like shoulder mic and like keys it, and he just goes, I need backup in line 4. I'm just like, oh no,
not backup.
So anyways, a couple dudes come walking out a few minutes later, like jank ass iron sight ARs slung over their shoulder, and kind of like stand beside me, and I'm like cracking jokes and stuff. I'm like, hey, you need a suppressor for that rifle? Because I got one. And you don't want to shoot that thing indoors. It's going to be super loud. Like, think about your hearing, dude. Like, nobody's buying it. Like, nobody thinks this is funny. And I'm just like, oh, God damn it, dude. So wait there for a while. Boss man comes down. Suit, tie, concealed carry. Clearly this is the guy in charge. Rolls up and he's like, what's going on? And other dude just points to me. He's like, tell him. Like, tell him the whole story again. I'm like, yep, work for a suppressor company. We make these, run product development stuff over there, or we were doing some testing. This must have got slipped into my backpack. Didn't know it was there. I apologize. Where do we go from here? And he was cool. He was like, this is BS. I don't even know why this is a problem. It's not attached to anything. Like, this isn't in and of itself a dangerous thing. And he's like, hey, as far as I'm concerned, you're good. You got to fill out this paperwork. We're going to take a picture of the thing, sign that said, hey, I carried this through security. And like, as far as I think you're fine. And I'm like, awesome. Fantastic. So hop on the plane, get out of there. I land. This flight is so late that I land, get my rental car. Keep in mind, I've been living in my little white vans. This is 2 vans ago. So this is a E250 Econoline. I was in my van on the range in Parma for 4 days before this, then drove straight to the airport, then flew, picked up my rental car at like 5 a.m., and then drove straight to the show and walked into the show booth. Like, no shower. Like, I had to change of clothes, but that was it. Like, this is what preceded all that. And then, so anyways, rolling with this story, and, tell everybody it was really funny. Ha ha ha. About 3 months later, I'm somewhere else. I don't remember where. And my wife calls me up on the phone and she's like, hey, there's a really ominous looking envelope here in the mail from the Department of Homeland Security with your name on it. Do you want me to open this? I'm like,
oh, no.
Yes, please do. And so she cracks it open. There's a whole bunch of legal stuff in there. And then basically it was like, hey, you carried, a registered serialized firearm, they called it in the paperwork, through security. Like, this is a huge thing. And it was basically like, we're going to fine you $7,000. And I'm like, gah. Like, this is, not like I have $7,000 to burn right now, but this is a time where this would have been like a life-changing amount of money for sure. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, so at the end of this thing is a sheet of paper that's like your response to this. And you basically like check whichever box and sign it and mail it back because government. And it was a bunch of options. The first option was basically like, if you don't fight it and you just pay, we'll let you pay half. So you can just pay $3,500 right now and just be done with it. I'm
what?
Like, well, yeah, I'm like, that's kind of a shitty move, but I also can't afford that.
It's a plea. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so anyway, so that was like move number one. And then the second thing that happened, or the second thing down on the list was like, get a lawyer, schedule a court date, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like Googling the shit out of this, and everybody's like, dude, just eat it. Like, there's no way you're getting out of this, and legal fees are going to be way more than the money that you save. Just pay it. And then there was a couple more options that I don't remember what they were. And then the last one on the list was schedule an informal conference with a member of the Department of Homeland Security. And I'm like, well, that sounds like the least ominous of these. And it kind of like lets me put this off a little bit. So I'm just going to check this box and go that route.
I don't have to pay $7,000 until then, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I check the box, I mail it off, and do a bunch more research. Everybody's like, dude, just pay your $3,500 and be done. And so a few more weeks goes by. Then one day my phone rings. I'm ironically at work, surrounded by suppressors, and he's like, hey, this is Bob Stevens or whoever from the Department of Homeland Security calling about your, complaint number, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yep, cool. And he goes, tell me what happened. So I tell him what happens, and he goes, cool. So you work for the company that makes them? Uh-huh. It's like, so you're handling this stuff all the time? Yep. And he goes, what have you guys put in place to make sure this doesn't happen? So I'm like, oh, we, instigated this check and checkout process, and we have select bags that have tags on them that, this is the only thing that suppressors can go into, which we actually did all this stuff. And I like walk him through the whole process, and he's like, all right, that all sounds pretty good. How about you just send us a check for $350 and we call it a day? I'm like, yes, sir. It'll be in the mail this afternoon. Like, absolutely. and then that was it. So they went from $7,000 to $3,500 to $350. And I was like, man, initially if it was $350, I'd be like, man, what a freaking jip. But after $7,000, I was like, this feels like a bargain.
So it's literally like the South Park bit where he's buying a plane ticket.
I don't know if
it's gonna cost you a lot of money. It's gonna be about $6,500. How about $50? $50? It's gonna be at least $3,000.
Pretty much, but And I asked him after we were all done with it. And also, like, when all this happened, I called up TSA at Salt Lake and got a hold of like the boss that was, whoever was on shift that night. And he's like, oh yeah, I remember that. I'm like, oh, well, DHS is fining me $7,000. He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, man. And he chimed in himself. He's like, dude, if this goes to court, I'll testify for you. And he's like, this is total bullshit. I was like, my man. And, but so afterwards, when I was talking to the DHS guy, who was pretty chill actually, I was like, now that all this is behind us, like, what's the deal? Like, why? Because I have friends that have gotten hung up on, spare trigger group in their carry-on or, scope or what, like gun parts are out, just across the board. And I'm like, why? And he explained it like, all right, well, if a bunch of people are flying from different airports and they all bring a part of a gun, then they can fly to wherever and then assemble a gun. And that's why they're all like hung up on like individual gun parts, which I'm like, I don't know that anyone has that much coordination first and second. I'm not sure that airport security is tight enough that that's even like, I have heard stories from friends who I will not name of accidentally bringing guns through security and just forgetting about it and not getting caught.
Complete functional items.
Complete functional loaded firearms. Oof. Dropped them on the carousel, rolled through. One dude told me a story about having his concealed carry down the front of his pants and stepping into the scanner thing. And when he like went to pick up his arms, he looked down and saw it and he was like, oh my God. So he's literally standing there in the scanner. Scanner goes whoop and he steps out and the lady's like, you're good to go. And he's just like, holy sh-. So then he's just like in the airport with a loaded gun. Like, what the fuck do I do?
Well, right. Like,
yeah.
So let's just war game that for a second. What do you do? Because like at one hand, it's like, well, you're through security. They're not going to check you again.
Yeah.
But like, oh my God.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He just got on the plane, flew to where he was going, and got off. I'm just like, dude,
man.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if there's holes that big where you can just walk into the scanner and depending on who's reading it, they just don't notice that you're carrying a gun, then are we really concerned with like 50 people flying in from different airports in this huge coordinated effort, but Bob forgot to trigger return spring so the thing doesn't work? I mean, come on. Like this seems a bit excessive.
It's kind of funny. Side quest. So y'all know me, right? Like, I carry a 5-inch 1911 most of the time. All right? Most of the time. I think something happened. I think there was an active shooter or something that happened in our area. And father-in-law asks Ms. Amax, so does Adam keep like a gun in like the glove box? I've been in this man's house all of the times. All right? All of the times. And she's like, no, not in the glove box. Man, like he's just like, just completely, but yeah, like that's, it's amazing. It's amazing, like when people catch it and when people, like what people miss, like what people are oblivious to.
Yeah. Here's the thing that I've really noticed about carrying in general, now that we're like fully down the side quest. Concealment is more about attitude than printing.
100%.
Like you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, oh man, I can see the corner of the grip and it's square as shit. Everybody knows that. If you just walk around like a normal ass person, you can be printing quite badly and nobody notices.
Yeah. And
it's
act
shocking.
like you are supposed to have it.
Yeah, just act like it's not there. But if you're all fidgety and you're like checking and shit, I don't care if you're wearing a puffy jacket over a hoodie. Like everybody's gonna know you have a gun.
Yeah.
Like it's the way that you carry yourself has every bit as much to do with like the ability for people to figure out if you're carrying than whether or not it's printing or like what garment you're wearing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. First of all, I can't imagine the heart attack I would have if I realized that I had one as
Dude,
I
right?
was
In that moment.
And then like I would be dying to get to the other end and just be like
Yes.
free and clear of whatever this. Like I would be worried about the jackboots like coming out of every bathroom
Dude.
from here to
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I would just be in pure panic mode for like the next 5 hours.
Yeah, I would just be
Yeah.
living a Jason Bourne movie. It would be I would. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't imagine that sensation of you like you're standing there with your arms up doing a little silhouette thing, just be like, like, dude.
And then they missed it.
Yeah.
They
What
missed
the,
it.
How? That like I do not understand. Like if this thing doesn't pick up like a full-on gun mid-waist, like I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know.
Well, I've been
Yeah.
jotting down some of mine while you're telling the story. You're trying to remember my best ofs. I think my best one was Las Vegas Airport. One of the last UML. What did they call it? The Grand something. The one that was supposed to be.
Oh yeah, that was like it was all the things all compiled into one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Expedition Multigun was supposed to be like short banger stages, and you could shoot multiple.
Yeah.
And then Surefire was the big the world championship, and then there was the Grand. I want to say Slam, but that's not it. But like.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you keep going. I'm just gonna practice score this thing and
Yeah,
find out what it was.
The idea was that there was like 5 pistol, 5 rifle, 5 shotgun, and 5 multi-gun. It was kind of like broken out, kind of old school style with a new twist. It was actually my favorite of the UML events that he did. Like I actually liked that one the best, but it was one of the later iterations of Pete's brainchilds that didn't catch fire. And so we were at that, and it kind of wrapped up in the afternoon, and I had a late flight, and so it's kind of like, well, what are we gonna do? Got to kill some time. Don't have a hotel room, so we're gonna go hang out and eat at Outback. So I was at Outback with Dissident Arms, Mike and Lan, and Josh Freilich.
It was just called the USSL Grand Championships.
Grand Championships. See, that was the other problem. It didn't have a sexy name. So we were there, had dinner. Just the dinner had run its entire course. In my head, I'm like, I have tons of time. I'm killing time. And they're like, okay, well, and I'm like, man, I better get going. Yeah, I better get going. See you guys later. Go out to the parking lot, take my gun off. So I get ready for the airport. I'm starting to look at my watch, do the math. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's time to get going. And then I'm driving. I'm looking at the estimated arrival time. Now at LAS, the rental car center is a shuttle bus ride away. So I'm like, oh, man, I got to ride that shuttle bus. Man, we are going to kind of cut it tight here. Oh, I haven't filled up with gas yet. Like, this is going to be really tight. I'm getting more and more nervous. I decide to I'm not filling it up. Charge me. I get on the bus. I can tell this story, not part of the story now, without being an asshole. There were new parents on the bus, and neither Ms. Amax or I have ever been these people, but they're in the part of they're in the phase where we're the first people to ever procreate, and our baby is perhaps the cutest that has ever been had, and everybody wants to see and know everything about our baby, and the world revolves around us, and we don't know how to load and unload our stroller.
Nice.
So they're holding up the show of unloading the bus. I'm getting nervous. So I get past these people, and I go up to the counter, and LAS is one of the more notorious airports to have problems at. And for no particular reason other than I think a lot of them go through there. But I go up to the counter, I do the thing, and it's one of those where you have to wait. Go wait over there for 10 minutes, and if we need you, we'll call you, kind of thing. And it goes. My bag disappears from sight. goes away. I sit down. I'm looking at the watch. I'm super nervous. I've flown in and out of LAS several times to this point, obviously several times since then. But I'm like, every time I've been here, they never call. Going for it. So I leave. I wait 3 minutes and I leave. I get upstairs, go around. If you've ever been, you know, I get around to the security checkpoint. I didn't have pre-check at this time. No, I didn't have pre-check yet. There's a long line up there. Oh, man. And so I wait in this line for about 5 minutes, and my phone rings with a Vegas area code.
Damn
it. Sir, we need you back. We need you at the baggage counter with your key. They need to open your bag. Oh no. So I go back down there, and she's like, "Okay, just give me your key, and I'll give it back to them, and it'll be fine." This is before this was normal. This is the first time I'd encountered this, where they're gonna open it without me being present, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And she gets the does not compute look on her face. Like, what? I'm like, there's a federally regulated item in there. Like, I need to be present. And she like calls the guy. And, wah, 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 wah. Yeah, he'll be out here in a second. Okay. So the dude comes out. And he's kind of puffing up his chest a little bit. Again, like what I hope you learn from all this stuff, just like in Ocean's 11, when Brad Pitt is teaching Matt Damon how to do the behind the security mission. All right, this person needs to like you and forget you as soon as you leave their sight. All right, that needs to be your mentality.
Yep.
As soon as you puff up and try to be like, I know my rights. Blah, blah. Nope. Wrong.
Nope.
Wrong. He thinks he has
nowhere.
He thinks he has something now, and he's going to dig in. So, hey, so what's going on here? I was like, well, I need to be present. There's, a federally regulated item in there. And he's like, what is it? I'm like, it's an SBR and a suppressor. And he's like, well, do you have a stamp for him? Yeah, of course I have a stamp for him. I have an FFL too. Do you want to see that? No. Well, so what are we going to do here? I need to be present. He's like, well, you can't come past the checkpoint. So what are we going to do? I'm like, well, what are our options? He's like, you give me the key or I cut your locks. Those are the options. And I'm like,
what?
I'm like, all right. I'm like, here you go. And I was like, can I see your badge? And he's like, he kind of holds it up on his shirt. Like, yeah, sure. Why? And I'm like, click. I took a picture of it. He's like, what's that about? And I'm like, my shit doesn't come out on the other end. I'm just going to have the ATF know who they can come and talk to. And he's like, fair enough. And he disappears. A few minutes go by. I get the notification that boarding's going to start. Boarding starts. My zone's boarding. 10 minutes goes by, but it feels like an hour, right? He comes back, and he was actually cool about it, right? He was like, hey, here's you go. Here it is. I took the pictures. I took some pictures. This is how I locked it again. Cool. And I was like, hey, I understand that you are under no obligation to help me, but my plane started boarding 15 minutes ago, and there's a huge line upstairs at the checkpoint. Is there any way you can help me get on my plane? And he's like, let me see what gate you're at. And he looks at it, he's like, all right, you're in luck. He's like, you still got that picture? He's like, you go here, you turn right there, you duck under this sign here, you pull the flower pot, and the secret door opens, and blah, blah, blah. You'll end up at the known crew member entry point. He's like, normally that's where I work. I was like, you show up there with my picture and your story, there's a chance he'll let you through. Fair enough.
Yes.
And if we were a classier show, this is where we would have a drop. All right, because you can just in your imagination, you can cue the Mission Impossible music. All right, because it starts right now. I run across. I'm up the stairs. I'm down the hall. I take the right. I like trip over some kids, and I like shove some old people into a bar, and like I'm running. I get to the security checkpoint, and I show him the picture, and I'm like, "Hey, like this happened, blah 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 blah," and the guy was like, "Huh." Yeah, all right. And he lets me through. I'm like, holy shit, that worked.
See, this is what I'm saying. You don't have to ship parts of guns.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
That's not that hard.
So I get through, and then you got to go through. You got to go down the thing. You got to get on the light rail train. So I'm like, as soon as the doors, I'm like swimming out of the door as soon as like there's a mouse width of a gap in those doors. I swim out of this thing. I'm running up the escalator past the Jamba Juice and like turn right at the TGI Fridays, and I'm running. I get there just in time to be the third to last person to board this plane. I'm like, there is no freaking way. No freaking way that I made it. That was the most that was the worst one, I think.
Jesus.
Where I almost, and it was probably what was the worst about it. It was entirely my fault. Everything about that story that made it stressful was entirely my fault by not showing up to the airport early enough. If I would have been there 10, 20 minutes earlier, that would have just been enough buffer time. It would have just been another story. It would just been another trip and wouldn't have triggered a memory. But that one was pretty gnarly. That one puckered my butthole.
That is gnarly. So my other wild one was kind of like the same thing but different result. So I checked a bag. I don't remember where I was at. I don't think I was in Salt Lake. I think I was flying home. But so I'm flying back for the suppressor company. Both my gnarly ones happened during work trips. They didn't happen during regular shooting trips. And so I checked my bag. They do the thing, and they're like, yeah, you're good to go. You know, we'll page you if we need you. I'm like, all right, cool. It's very frustrating to me that every airport has a totally different system. But
yes.
the wait 10 minutes is the worst.
Yes.
That's the worst. The best is, cool, walk over there to the oversized luggage thing. They're going to scan your bag and deal with it right on the spot. That's the best. So
the best is you're good.
Yeah, the best is you're good. But like, I like the one where you just like walk over and you're like, we're just going to handle it right now. So anyway, so this is a place where it was like, it wasn't wait 10 minutes, but it was like, put it through. We'll page you if we need you. So doing my thing. And, I don't know, I'm in like a bookstore or something, just killing some time, and hear my name get paged like, hey, go to gate A6, which is not my gate. And I'm like, all right, well, we know what this is all about. So I go walking up there, and there is a, we'll say, Asian lady who does not speak English as a first language and definitely wasn't super fluent. I'm very confident that she spoke my language better than I spoke hers, but not by a lot. And anyway, so she's like, are you Adam? And I'm like, yep. And so she's like, okay. And she picks up the thing, dials the number, and, calls security, and they say some stuff into the phone, and she kind of translates to me. She's like, they need the combination they need the keys to your case. And I explained to her what you just explained to that other person. It's like, hey, there's a bunch of NFA items in that case. I'm, not legally allowed to turn over the keys to somebody else. This has to be open in my presence. So either I can go down there or they can bring the case up here. Either one of those are totally fine with me. Let me know how you want to deconflict this. And she just leans back into the phone and says, he says no. And I'm like, I just reached across the counter and snatched the phone out of her hands and was like, hello, hello? Like, hey, man, that's not what I said. What I said was, and, just like, you just sandbagged the shit out of me, lady. So I like re-explained the thing to him. These are all the things that I said. There's more context here that's super important. And it's like, God damn it. So anyways, he's like, all right, I'll come up there. I'll see you in a minute. I'm like, cool. So he comes walking up. I handed the phone to him. I was like, what the fuck, lady? And she just like sneers at me and sets the phone down and walks away. I'm like, God damn it. And anyway, so he comes walking up and he's like, hey, man, we can't bring the guns up here because we're in an airport. And, now we're like through security and everything. He's like, so we're just going to bring you down to security. And I'm like, all right. So I figured we'd like walk back through the security line. But he's like, no, we just we walk down the jetway to go to like board a plane, except there's no plane there. And then take the right through that door, walk down the stairs under the jetway, walk under like 5 or 6 planes on the way to the backside. And I'm like looking around like, am I fucking allowed to be here? Like this seems like I shouldn't be able to be here.
This is kind of sweet. Or I'm getting murdered. One of the two.
Yeah, exactly. Like one of these two things is definitely happening. And so we walk in there. And we walk into like the backside of security where they do like the secondary check thing at this particular airport. And he's like, here you go. These guys will take care of you. And then he walks off. So you would think that this would be like their last line of defense where the real heavy hitters are at. But these are actually the people that are so incompetent that they can't put them out front where regular paying customers can see them because it would put TSA in a bad light. As far as I can tell, that's the people that are in this room.
Oh, those are the ones that are back there.
Those are the ones that are back there. Yeah. And it is just like, you just look around and you're like, dude, you don't have 100 IQ between the three of you. Like if you put it together and add it all up, like this is like, I was like, this is going to be rough. It's either going to be super smooth or really rough. And he's like, what's the deal? And I explain it and he's like, cool. Can I see your keys? I'm like, yep. Can you turn that case around? And he's like, what? I'm like, well, I just want the case to open towards me so you don't just like drop something behind that counter and I don't see it go away. And, I just need to make sure that everything's in that case that was in there when you opened it. And he's like, all right. So turn the case around. He pops it, flips it up. It's just full of machine guns and suppressors. Like it looks like
it's a whole John Wick movie in there.
Yeah. Full on. And he cracks the case and he's like, huh? Like, uh-huh. And then he starts like grabbing the edge of the foam and like picking up the foam and kind of like peeking under and picking up the foam, like looking around. And he goes, this is not good. I'm like, I told you it was a case full of machine guns and suppressors, and it's a case full of machine guns and suppressors. Like, what's not good? He's like, we need to call the sheriff's department. Like, for what? He goes, well, I need to see underneath these guns. Like, all right, take them out. Yep. And he goes, I'm not allowed to touch the guns.
This is one of the unwritten ones, folks.
Okay.
The TSA
like,
people aren't allowed to touch your guns.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, how long is it going to take for the sheriff's department to get here? It's like about 45 minutes. I'm like, dude, my plane board's in 15 minutes. Yeah, that's what he said. I was like, my plane board's in 15 minutes. And he goes, I don't know what to do. I'm like, can you just pancake flip the case? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, close the case, flip it over, open it back up. The bottom will be on the top. You'll be able to see what's under the foam. He's like, that's acceptable. And he closes the case, latches it, flips it over, opens it up, and immediately like 50 catalogs fall out of this case. Turns out if you stack a bunch of catalogs in the bottom of the rifle case, X-ray machine can't see through them. That was the problem. Had nothing to do with the guns. When they ran it through the X-ray machine, it was just a big black box. And so anyway, so he's like, okay, this is good. So he's like trying to put this cake back in the pan upside down so that it's like a pile of guns, which isn't flat, and just a sheet of foam. It's not fitted foam. It's just a sheet of foam. And then all these catalogs that are slidey as all hell. And I was like, dude, just shove the catalogs out of the way and close this thing. I do not care about the catalogs, but I really need to make my flight. And so he like shoves all the catalogs off onto the floor, closes the case. There's still like foam sticking out the corner. It's a hot mess. Locks it all up, gives me back the key. And yeah, like he's like, all right, Like, head back to your flight. I'm like, dude, I just walked under 5 planes and up a thing with a security. Like, somebody needs to take me back to my plane. He's like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. So he like walks me back under all the planes. Yeah, you're free to go. I'm like,
go where?
I'm on the part of the airport where I'm not supposed to be. I'm like,
I can't scan through any of these doors.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so they like walk me back to my thing, get on the plane. Nothing comes of it. It was all good, but.
Yeah,
dude.
I had the taco on my list too. I had that happen one time, honorable mention, and it's the same thing. Like he sees it as a void in the case, so he needs to get underneath there. And so, but I have this thing packed. Like I'm packed for a 3-gun match, and I think this was in my era of when I was shooting open. So like it is all like Jenga packed in there. Flips it open. Flips it around, upside down, opens it, and of course, it all falls out. And then he like tries to flip it back over again. And he tries to close it and like not work. Like yeah, no kidding, buddy. Like he was like, well, how do I close? And I was like, well, can I? And he's like, no. And I was like, well, could I tell you? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay. So what do we do? And he's like, I call sheriff. And I'm like, okay, that's sweet. And I'm in LE sales. I'd rather talk to him anyway. Like, and so that guy.
Yeah, you're going to be handing out business cards and making contacts.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm solid. And so, yeah, the guy comes in. He was cool. And he's like, puts it in there the right way. But yeah, the tech, it's, and like, I understand, like, nobody in kindergarten, when they said, what do you want to be when you grow up, said TSA agent. Like, I get it.
Nope.
But it's a job. They're just trying to do it, and they're the pool of people who will take that job, But, like, sometimes it is frustrating. Then the taco being a good example, or you called it the pancake. The pancake being the perfect example of, like, you flipped my case upside down, you opened it, and now you, like, don't understand that it won't go back together. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, that's frustrating. But yeah, it's
well. The frustrating part to me is that so here's the thing though, it's not as bad as people think because
no,
I've flown, I don't know, 100-ish times with guns.
Easy, yep.
And I have like 2 funny stories.
Right.
And one of them was entirely my fault. So yeah, like not really a big deal for the most part. The only real frustrating thing is just that like there's no standardization. Every airport's different. Everybody's understanding of the rules are different. Every single TSA agent's different. Every single gate agent's different. So it's a little bit of a crapshoot what you're going to get when you go in. So you just have to go in with like time to spare. Like don't do what Adam did in his first story. And in just like understanding what the rules are, making sure you're following the rules. And if you need to explain the rules to somebody who doesn't know, usually the person that you're checking your bag to, I think, was it Scott Green that they asked him to show that the rifle was clear and he took off the scope cover?
Oh no.
Who was that?
That was, oh man, the Indiana guy, Josh. He had 9 fingers.
Oh, dude, we're at Tarrant.
Yes, Josh Tarrant. That was Josh Tarrant.
Yeah, that's funny. But
Josh Tarrant also good for putting his foot underneath the case and holding it up so that it was exactly 50 pounds.
Yes. Yeah, I have noticed that the in new airports now the scale is enclosed and you can no longer get underneath there.
It's weird.
Also, pro tip, if you're flying Delta, they give you 2 free pounds. So you actually get 52 before they'll charge you.
Yeah.
And those 2 pounds matter. But yeah, just like knowing, having a handle on what the rules are and being able to be like, hey, I understand this is, weird, but like, I fly a lot. These are the rules. This is what I'm doing. And like not digging your heels in, because if you dig your heels in, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, you're totally boned.
You just got
just be nice about it.
You just got to be cool. Just a couple of Fonzies. We're going to be cool.
Just going to be cool, honey bunny.
But
all right, so there's a good one on me. That was honorable mention. So
my first few times that I flew, just to wrap up that thought, I was so scared. I was so scared the first few times I flew with guns, because everything I knew about flying with guns I'd read in gun magazines, which, as Alonzo told us in training day, 90% bullshit.
But it's entertaining.
But it's entertaining. All right. But I accepted that as truth, and there have been so many stories and whatnot. And if I could give you one piece of advice, it's like, know what they publish, which isn't very much, but know it forwards, backwards, sideways, have it printed out, and to the best don't lie. Don't lie, but be as confident as you could possibly be that you know the rules and you know what you're doing. Because my dad, God bless him, first thing he'd do when he'd go up there, I have no idea what I'm doing. How do I do this? That's wrong. That's wrong. All right. And when they ask you how many guns you have, he would tell you all of them and what the serial numbers were, what year they were manufactured. That's wrong. That's wrong. Don't do that. All right. Do you have any ammo? Yeah, he would give you the round count. Oh, yeah, I have 53 rounds of 30-06 with 180 grain bullets. No, they want to know less than 11 pounds. That's what they want to know. Again, these people need to like you and forget you as soon as possible. They're just people having a day. They don't really care about this job. They're just trying to do it, and they're trying to get to the end of their shift. They have 3 questions that they have to ask you. You need to answer them correctly, and then you both can move on with your day.
100%. Yep.
Now,
just walk up there like you've done it a million times before, and it will go smooth.
Yep. Just like concealed carry. Just pretend like you're supposed to have it. That's 90% of the battle.
Yep.
But a couple of mine actually manifested themselves on one trip. So this was the last time.
How many times a year do you fly with guns? Well, I mean, every time you fly is with guns, but how many times a year do you fly?
I'm Diamond on Delta Airlines, and every time I have a gun.
Solid.
I have however many times that is.
I don't know, but it's a bunch.
It's a lot.
You probably fly more in a year than I do in most 10 years.
Yeah, probably. And it ebbs and flows, but I mean, like certainly last year. So this was the last time I flew American. This experience reminded me why I like Delta. Say what you will about all the different air carriers, I feel like Delta is the most customer service oriented. Like,
I agree.
Of them, none of them are Vortex. But of them, Delta is the most Vortex-like. And that's why I patronize Delta. And because of this story. So, I needed to get to Corpus Christi. There's only one major airline that flies into Corpus Christi. Well, actually, 2. But it was like American or Southwest. I chose American because they fly out of Madison. And I get there. I'm doing my thing. I didn't even have anything particularly interesting, but I do the deal. Get up there with like to declare. Excuse me. Like to declare firearms. This chick, she's not top of her class in flight gate check-in person school. She's probably new. She was also definitely new. Which I don't know what the turnover rate is at the ticket counter, but like Madison Airport is not a big place. I usually don't recognize the faces. There's a few of them that I recognize, but it's like, man, like they turn over quick. So this chick, we do the deal and put the card inside, click, lock. And I'm like, okay, do I have to wait? And she's like, no, you're good. Which is strange. I always have to wait at Madison because this was before they upgraded their x-ray machine. I always had to go and unlock the case. So I'm like, you're sure? She's like, yeah, you're good to go, honey. I'm like, you're sure? Yep. I'm going to go through security. I'm good. Yep, good to go. okay, bye. She even said something to the effect of like, I just had the training, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, you put the tag in there, you're good to go. All right, American's pretty sweet, I guess. All right, here we go. Get up there, do the deal. Like I'm one white monster deep, and I get in, sit in my my seat, which is towards the back of the plane because I have no status on American. And then there's the flight attendant up in the middle. She kind of has the pen and she's like tapping her lip, like, you know, she's kind of puzzled. She's looking, she's scanning the crowd, scanning the faces. She's looking at the list. She walks right up to my seat and she says, "Are you Mr. Maxwell?" Guilty. Yes, I am.
You're on the plane?
I'm on the plane, sitting down.
This is not good. This is not good.
And she's like, "There's an issue with your bag." And I'm like, "What is it?" They're like, "They need to open it." And I'm like, "The lady at the counter said it was good." She's like, "I don't know what to tell you. They need to get in it. You need to come with me." Holding up the whole plane. Like, we can't leave until you sort this out. I'm like, okay. Me, oblivious me, thinking like they're going to wait. No, they get me off that plane. They close the door. And she's gone. And then
that's so gnarly.
I'm still talking to the people at the gate counter and the plane is gone. All right.
Yeah. So no pretense of like we're even gonna kind of
not even like, trying. I'm like, what's going on?
For burning $100 a second of rocket fuel, you can just eat a bag.
Yeah. So like, I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, well, they need to open your bag. They need to do the same thing they do every time.
Yep.
And they're just does not pass go, does not collect $200. And so like, okay, we go down there, we do the thing. Back to the same lady. "Oh, I'm so sorry. Blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I bet you are. You're not the one not making your thing." And she's like, "All right, well, yeah, we'll get you on the plane. Looks like the next one is tomorrow, and oh, you're coming back tomorrow." I was going down and back one day.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was going down and back one day, and she's like, "Oh. So if we get you there tomorrow, that won't work for you." And I'm just kind of looking at her like, nope, no, it won't. "Oh, well, what are we going to do?" And I'm like, "Can you get me anywhere in Texas tonight?" And she's like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, you know, like, can you get me anywhere?" "Oh, I think we got to Houston." I'm like, great, go there. And so get on that plane, fly, land there. And when I get there,
now it's windshield time.
when I get there, there's a massive storm. Flights are being canceled.
Nice.
There's a huge line at the rental car counter.
Oh.
Of course, I don't have a reservation because we are shooting from the hip.
Yeah,
and
entirely.
So I forget exactly how it went, but it basically went down to, "Hey, no more cars tonight. Here's your shuttle to the hotel." Okay, go to the hotel, get there the next morning, get in the car, start driving. I kind of make it for like the last half of the thing that I was trying to get to. And so totally not worth it now, but you know, like, yeah, it's more about the quest. I'm on a quest at this point.
Sure.
Get there, do the thing, miss the demo. I had some this was a multi-leg trip, so I was going to jump in on a class with Sentinel Concepts on the way back. So I have some ammo. And this is back when, in the early days when G-Code first started making the bang boxes, hard plastic Tupperware thing with basically a nylon zipper on the top. And Sage Concepts Sage Dynamics, not his fault, but Aaron Cowan was like, "Hey, this is what I do," when he made his like, "Here's how I fly with stuff" video. It's like hard-sided container made to contain ammo. This is good to go with TSA. And I'm like, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Corpus Christi Airport. What's this here? Well, I mean, I tried to do the hard-sided, meant to contain ammo, and he's not having it. What it is homeboy wants my ammo. Like, this guy definitely was going to confiscate 200 rounds of ammo and dispose of it at his house.
Nice.
Yeah. But he's like, no, you can't have this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, can I take it out? Can I, like, ship it? Well, like, you have, like, 10 minutes or whatever. I call my guy, my rep down there. I'm like, hey, I need you to swing by here. I'm going to give you something, and I'll pick it up later. So I go out and hand it to him. I had already checked in, gone through the security, and then they called me back, and that's when we had that conversation.
That's fun.
And so, and then another freak thunderstorm comes, miss my connection again, and basically too late to get to my next thing. So when I landed in Iowa, I basically just like bailed on flying at all, and I just rented a car to drive home. I'm like, American Airlines, clearly this flying thing is not what you're good at, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try the automobiles option.
Wow.
But that was the only time I ever got pulled off a plane. Yeah, because the chick didn't understand the process. You know, it's like she misunderstood the steps in the process. She let me go through security, and by the time it log jammed, they just pulled me off the plane, and the plane's leaving. So that was one of the more traumatic ones. Just because it was a multi-leg thing, and it just kind of was a comedy of errors the whole way through. But I have zero desire to fly American Airlines.
That's definitely a Change Airlines level fiasco for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
Travis and I did, like, in our early days of 3-gun flying for Vortex and stuff. One time we had way too much ammo. Like we say, like we've never like been weighed before. Like no one's ever, hey, do you have 11 pounds? No one's ever checked. Okay, but we're back there, and we have some ammo like that's packed properly, and then we have some bulk pack, like the actual we're gonna bring some extra. Was in this box or whatever in one of our luggages, and he's like, hey, this is like not properly packed, blah 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 blah, and we tried that's a factory case. You know, it's factory packaging, bulk pack. And this was a smarter guy. He was like, listen, I don't know about all that, but I know that all of this is more than 11 pounds.
Which one do you want to lose?
And we're like, fair enough. We'll just go stash that in our car and we're good to go, right? He's like, yep. so
that's the guy that you want. Like,
that's the guy that you want.
I'm gonna let you just get away with some of this, but not all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, he was like, I'm gonna be cool, but we're not that cool. He's like, I still need a job tomorrow, so you're not gonna get through with all of this.
Yeah. If you're ever curious, by the way, like start throwing ammo on a scale. 11 pounds is not a lot of ammo.
No, especially not a lot of shotgun ammo.
Yeah.
And so
that stuff adds up fast.
Do you have another one?
Nothing worth holding up to show. My crazy TSA stuff falls off to like funny little anecdotes as opposed to like 3-leg travel stories that involve flying to the wrong part of Texas. So
I got one more. The bronze medal.
Here, I'll give you a very, very short one.
There you go.
So nothing happened. It was just a funny thing. So flying back, we're back in Salt Lake. We're getting out of the airport, and we were flying to somewhere. We hadn't checked in yet. And my buddy's going, he's like, drop me off at the front door, and he's going to stash the rental car and take the shuttle. But he dropped me off first because we had so many cases. So I had 5 gun cases all strapped together in a giant stack with the rolling case on bottom. And I just like rolled them into the airport and sat them down and sat down on top of it and pulled out the phone and started scrolling through Instagram. And it was just like totally oblivious. It's super early in the morning, just kind of sleep deprived. And then I hear, "Sir," and I look up and there's like 3 cops standing next to me. And I'm like, "What's up?" And the guy just goes, "You're kind of freaking people out, man. Can you just go over there?" and I look around and there's like 40 people just staring at me because I'm just sitting on top of a stack of gun cases. And he's like, "I know you're doing nothing wrong, but people are just getting a little weirded out. So just, if you could just wheel those over to the corner until your ride shows up, that'd be cool." I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
All right. The bronze medal. Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Oh, not a good start.
Yep. For those not familiar, Fayetteville, North Carolina, Vietnam, if you will, is known because it is very near Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg is the home of a very prestigious anti-terrorist unit and the 3rd Special Forces Group, in addition to the 82nd Airborne. People fly in and out of there all the time with guns. Very interesting people fly in and out of there all the time with guns. So I didn't think nothing of it. I was there for work. I have my luggage, like my hard-sided luggage size piece of kit. I have a carry gun in a soft pistol rug, like zipped shut. And then I have an SR-25 like taken apart, like upper lower separated. And then all of my like clothes and stuff packed in there. And go up to the counter, do the declaration. I get dropped off because my colleague still lived there. So he dropped me off and he was going to do the next thing. And I declare. And we have the does not compute that your gun inside of a hard case needs to also be inside of a hard case. All right, so
Wait,
so she thinks that no matter what, the gun needs to be inside its own little case. Never mind that the whole case is a hard-sided locked case. To her, inside the luggage, it needs to be inside another locked case, and this is our disconnect.
So she wants like straight up just Russian nesting dolls.
Yes.
Of hard cases.
Yes.
Awesome. Jesus.
And I'm like, that's not how that works. She, of course, digs in because someone of my complexion isn't going to tell her how to do her job, kind of thing. And I'm like, we pull up the rules. I'm like, this says this, and she's, her and the person next to her decided that I wasn't going to be right that day. And then she's like, I know the test. Okay, so put your locks on. Okay, check, click. She's like, open all the latches. Okay. And she's trying to pry the lid open. She sticks her finger in. She squeezes her index finger in, and she touches the cloth of the pistol case. She doesn't touch the pistol. She touches the cloth of the pistol case. She's like, I just touched the gun. Doesn't pass the test. Doesn't close. Her thing was my locks didn't hold the lid tight enough. And because she could just barely squeeze her index finger in, which is a tight fit, I'm kind of glad that it hurt her a little bit. But she's like, nope, this isn't an adequate container. You can't fly with this. I'm like, what do you mean I can't fly with this? I fly with this all the time. And she's like, not today, you're not. And I'm like, this is Fayetteville. Are people fly through here from Fort Bragg all the time? Like, really? And she's like, yeah, I send them all to Walmart all the time to get the proper locks.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like,
she sounds fun.
Oh, she was fun. So I call my buddy or my colleague to come back. And basically what we're going to do is like, hey, I'm going to give you these things and we'll figure it out later because I have somewhere to be. So I'm going to try and get sterile and go through there again, which he swings back and I give them to him and go back through again. And this time when I come back through, her name tag is flipped over. and I'm like, so, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, oh, well, you're going to miss your flight. Okay, well, what's the next one? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what'd you say your name was again? I'm not giving you my information, sir. Okay, well, that's kind of petty because, like, it's not going to be hard for customer service to figure out who's on duty today at your kiosk.
Yeah.
But, like, not giving you my information, sir, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, anyway. So
Have fun with that.
yeah, I got through, called the customer service. Oh, we're so sorry. I think they gave me some miles or something. Missed my flight. Oh no, and that's what it was. So when I got back through there, oh, you've missed your flight. You got to get on the next one. The next one's not for like 4 hours. Okay. And so basically I like get picked up again. We kill that time. And when I come back to check in, it's magically somebody else. Oh man, I'm messing this story up. So I missed my flight. She books me on the next one for a few hours later. I go back to chill at my colleague's house. I get on the phone with customer service. I give them my whole spiel. Oh, we're so sorry, and blah, 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 blah. When I got back, it was somebody else at the desk. Like it was clearly still the same shift. It was the same shift. They just made sure that it was somebody else there when I got there. And I went through and I got on. I don't even remember where I was going, but yeah, it was she did the test. She stuck her finger. She like forcefully stuck her finger in there. She touched the cloth of my cloth pistol case. I touched the gun. It's not an adequate container. And I'm like, well, you're going to be really upset about the SR-15 taken apart in the bottom of that case.
Yeah.
But those are the three worst ones. And like Reiser said before, like, I mean, we've been flying with guns for the better part of 20 years now. And that's the best three cases, or the best three stories that I have. There's little anecdotal stuff here and there, but like those are probably the three worst ones. And we've talked about flying before in some other episodes. Like the main thing is, you know, have proper packaging, have the proper cases, have the locks, know the rules, know the script, know what to say.
Yep.
Give them the answer they want. All right. So give them, don't lie.
We both have YouTube videos on this. So
Yes.
you go to either one of our channels because we have a slightly different approach to it because we travel for slightly different stuff for the most part.
Yep.
But the key components are there in
Yeah.
both of them.
Yep. So answer the questions, be honest, but don't elaborate, be likably forgettable, and it's actually not that bad. But the bad stories are entertaining for a lot of people. So those are our TSA best ofs that we can think of off the top of our heads to date. And yeah.
I hope to never top mine.
Me too. I'm sure another doozy. I mean, I'm probably due for another doozy here at some point, but
Don't put that negative energy out in the world, man.
But at the same time, like it's like I said, so much of it is preventable if you're there early. If you have proper cases, it should flow fairly nicely. And if you run into a problem person, hopefully you can speak to their supervisor, and you can elevate to a point where you can get through. I've never had, the Fayetteville one, I did ask to speak to a supervisor. That's the only time I've ever get somebody else here. And that's the only time that's ever happened. But for the most part, it goes pretty smooth if you have the right locks and the right packaging and all that stuff. And that's it, boys and girls. That's all we have for you this week for On the Perf. We're going to be getting into some shooting stuff here pretty soon. Next time we talk, we will have revitalized two-gun in southern Wisconsin. So we'll for sure have some two-gun action to talk about. And we'll be ever closer to that 3-man, 3-gun with the champ. The champ. And who knows, maybe our first guest, maybe, if you're all good out there, maybe we'll have a guest.
Yeah. And for the rest of you guys, today's topic was a listener request. If you guys have anything you want us to talk about, hit either one of us up on social media or just send an email to ontheperfpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll throw it in the list. And when we hit the low times, we'll bust it out for you.
When they're the worst of times, they are the best of times for listener questions.
Indeed, they are.
That's all we have for you this week, folks. Keep those overlays handy. This is On the Perf, and we'll get at you all next week.
See you guys.